Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This last week went by really slowly for me, so I'm super excited to be back behind the camera. Even though for you it was the same duration of time, it just feels like one of those weeks. If you are interested in having a yoga sequence every week, I post on Thursdays and you can click to subscribe to my channel or add this video to your playlist to come back to it later. In this video we're going to be working on our spine flexibility and our lower backs, so you can get into gear and follow me. Let's begin. Thank you all for sticking around. We may be using a yoga block today. So I have my handy little yoga block right here beside me. I'm just going to keep it to the side next to my mat so that it's within reach. And we're going to meet in the middle of our mat today, standing. We're going to inhale our hands to prayer position and slowly close our eyes. At this point in time, you just want to forget about all of the burdens, anything that's going on today, whether it's your work, relationships, family, friends, anything like that. We're just going to let it all go. This moment is for you and for you only. We are prioritizing our health, our emotional health, our physical health, and making sure to take the time to embrace it, challenge it, and keep it working strong. So even on a nice day like today, we are making the time to come inside and make this our focus for about half an hour or however long this video ends up being. Your body thanks you and appreciates every move that you make to better its performance and better its health and make you feel the best you can feel. We're going to take this time to let our breath adjust so you can go at your own pace, breathing. Whether you feel the need to let something go, you can inhale and sigh to exhale. Or just follow your regular breath. Next, I want you to slowly begin rubbing your hands together, creating some friction. This is making some prana, fire, energy, life between your hands, building up a burning sensation. And then we're going to release our hands to cover our eyes. And hold here, feeling the energy pulsating from your fingers to your face, the warmth. You feel comforted, but also motivated. And we're going to spread our fingertips out and slowly begin to open our eyes, letting the light peek in through your fingers. And then we'll release, adjusting to the light. Welcome back. So today we're working on our lower backs and we're going to be doing some vinyasa sequences. If you've never heard of vinyasa, it is a mini little series of postures that people use very commonly throughout yoga practice. So if you follow me, we're going to turn to face the tops of our mat. When I say that, you guys will actually be at the top of your mat, but due to my limited space, I do need to stay more along the center. So use it to your discretion. If you feel you don't have enough room in your room, then you can follow me. Otherwise, you can come to the top of your mat. The basic point is that you want to be able to extend your leg and your arm out at the same time. So I am coming into standing position at the top of my mat. We're going to inhale our arms up into the sky, getting a nice elongated stretch in the spine. And slowly lower down to forward fold. Then we're going to inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, lower down, palms to the floor, kicking back to plank. And then we're going to lower down to chaturanga. So you slowly lower down, digging your claws into the earth, elbows in, chin, chest, and then push up into upward facing dog. And then on our exhale, we're coming to downward facing dog. So as we're getting adjusted, we can begin to pedal out our feet, loosening up any tightness in your body, and just holding here. So your head is between your arms, your hips are square, belly button drawn into the spine, and heels sending back towards the mat. And we're going to inhale, look between our hands, and hop or step forward. Back to forward fold. Halfway lift. And this time on our inhale, we're going to come into chair position. So we're going to inhale our arms up into the sky. Seat is going back down to the earth. Your knees are bent. Gaze is up to the ceiling. And then we're going to inhale, extend, lean forward, extending our arms out in front of us, and slowly bringing our left leg up into warrior three position. So you want to make sure your right foot is completely rooted into the mat. Your left foot is extended towards the wall, and you're making a T formation with your body. So your arms and leg should be in line. This is also great for the core, making a nice foundation here. Next, we are going to plant our right hand to the mat. So you can use your fingertips. You can also use your block here. So if you have a block handy, we're going to place the block beneath our hands, either full flat hand or fingertips. We're going to keep our left leg extended, and then slowly, with control, if you prefer to stay here, stay here. Otherwise, we're going to inhale our left arm to the sky. This is a balancing posture, so take your time, breathe into it. Really take your time reaching here, and then we will slowly release. Roll your hand back down to the earth, your foot back, place the block over to the side, and we'll stay in forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms to the earth, and step back to plank. And vinyasa. So we'll slowly chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. So the half moon pose is a balance pose. It can take some time to retrieve. I'm still working on mine, as you can see. But just go with whatever limit you feel works for you. On our next inhale, I'll look between our hands and hop or step between our palms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and make it back to chair position. So we're sending our hips back square, eyes up to the ceiling, feet planted, and then we'll slowly lean forward and kick our right foot out to the back of the room, forming that T in warrior three. And then from here, we're going to release our left hand to the mat, or grab your block. I will place mine right here. Make sure you have a stable foundation with your left foot and your left palm. You can stay here if you like, or you can slowly try to roll your right arm up into the sky, following the fingertips with your gaze.
And don't feel silly if you fall, it's part of the practice. This is all just for you. No one's watching. So just fall and get back into position. So really take your time here. It's not mandatory to lift your right hand to the sky, but if you want to practice, then just go really slowly and see where you can reach to. This is probably my extent, and then I'm going to slowly release my hand back to the mat, release my right foot, move my block over to the side, forward fold, inhale, halfway lift, exhale, palms to the mat, and step back to plank, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful, good work, you guys. I know that's a difficult one. I'm still getting the ropes of it. But I don't want to be one of those teachers who tells you that you're allowed to make mistakes, but then is always perfect. I want to show you guys my mistakes and where I'm at, so you can feel a human is on the other side of these videos, and we're not all yoga machines that can do every posture. Now at this point, we're going to inhale, look between our palms, and send our left foot between. We're going to lower down our right knee to the end of the mat and inhale our hands up to the sky. So this is a nice low lunge stretch. Gaze is at the ceiling. The top of your right foot is touching the mat. You're keeping your hips squeezed in together to keep them straight. And hold here. Now we're going to slowly lower our left left palm to the back knee that is on the mat, and then bring our right arm over into a reverse low lunge. And we'll inhale, come back up, palms around the foot. Untuck our right toes, lift up our knee, send our left foot to the back into plank, and slowly chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Nice work, you guys. Now we're going to do that onto the opposite foot. So our next inhale, we're going to step our right foot between our palms, send the left knee to the mat, top of the left foot is into the mat, and we're going to inhale our palms up to low lunge. Again, make sure you square your hips, keep them pushing in a little bit close together. Gaze at the ceiling. This time we're going to use our right hand to our back left knee. Inhale our left hand across our head. Gaze at the fingertips to reverse low lunge. For me, this one's a little bit more difficult of a balance. So instead of looking at your fingertips, if you feel you're a little shaky, then you can just take a look at a place on your ceiling that will keep you still. Then we'll slowly release, unraveling our hands, planting our palms around our foot, untucking our left toes, sending our knee up, and our right foot back, plank, and chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Awesome work, you guys. Now we're just going to lower our knees to the mat. Big toes touching, extend our knees to the outer edges and our arms out straight in front of us to extended child's pose. So you can keep your forehead on the mat. We're getting a nice stretch here, taking a little break from standing, catching our breath. Now we'll slowly inhale, come back up. I'm going to shimmy a bit forward here. And we're going to come up into dolphin pose. So this is basically downward facing dog, but with your forearms in the mat. This is one that I am still getting used to as well, but we're going to give it a go together. So we're going to untuck our toes and slowly lift up, bringing our feet in. Our feet are hip distance apart. Our head is between our biceps, navel into spine. Getting a nice stretch out of the spine here and opening of the shoulders. So you're creating an A shape with your body here. And we'll slowly release back to child's pose. And now we're going to come fully onto our bellies. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do a little, I've heard different names for this one, so either open wing, broken wing, but it's a nice little shoulder stretch. So how we're going to do it is we are going to place our left arm out extended. So our hand is outside of the mat here. We're going to use our right fingertips and place them beside our chest. And we're going to slowly roll onto our left hip, lifting our right knee. So our right foot is planted, our knee is bent, our right elbow is up with our fingertips into the mat, and we're just rolled over to get a nice stretch out of your left shoulder. So this should feel really good. You shouldn't feel any pain or pinching. If you're going too far, then just loosen up. You can lower your knee a little bit, lower your hand, do whatever feels good for you. Some people like to cross their leg over, but I like to keep mine here. And breathe here. And we'll slowly inhale, bringing our right leg back to center, unraveling our left arm, and we'll do the same on the opposite side. So we're going to extend our right arm out. Extend our right arm out. Place our left fingertips into the mat. Slowly roll over our right hip, bringing our left foot to the floor. And getting that nice broken wing or open wing stretch. Breathing into it. And we'll slowly release back to center. This time we are fully on our stomachs and we're working our way up to bow pose. So we're going to start with half bow. If you don't know what that is, I will explain it to you. What we'll be doing is we're going to inhale our left foot to come to our glute. We're going to use our left hand to clasp around the foot. And with our right hand, we're going to extend out straight. So I'm going to shimmy down the mat just a little bit. Okay. So our left foot is folded into our bums. Our left arm is catching the foot. And on our inhale, we're going to lift our right arm into the sky at the same time as lift our thigh and glute and everything in the lower half of your left body. And the best way to do this is actually kick your foot into the palm of your hand, and that gives you some resistance, some stability in the balance. So if you want to follow along with me, I will do it on our next inhale. So exhale, inhale, lift up your right arm and kick your left foot into your left palm. Holding here for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. And then we'll get prepared to do it on the opposite side as we just take a little breathing break. So our right palm is covering our right foot. Left arm out extended. Staying here. And on our next inhale, we are going to rise. So if you follow me here, and inhale. So I'm kicking my right foot into my right palm, extending my left arm out in front of me, squaring my hip, making sure I'm not splaying out, keeping straight, holding for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. Beautiful. So that's a nice lower back stretch here. It feels very good when you need that little extra bend in your back, especially for those of us that like to fold forward, typing on our screens, typing on our keyboards on our screens. It's always good to counterbalance that position that you're in for so long with some little back bends. So this time, instead of extending any arms out forward, we're going to bring both of our feet into our bums, grabbing both of them with both hands, breathing here. This one is very helpful if you use your belly breathing. So I did that on St. Patrick's Day. If you guys followed that sequence, it really helps when you inhale and your belly grows, because that keeps you sort of like you're on a little teeter-totter. Or if you know those little balancing boards that have the little loop underneath them. I don't know what those are called, but that's sort of the motion that we are recreating with our bodies here. So we're going to relax, catch our breath, and then you'll follow me on the next inhale to rise. So we'll do it together. And now, inhale. So I'm kicking both feet into my palms, my shoulders are away from my ears, they're stretching open, my belly is breathing, pushing me up, counterbalancing the weight coming down from my feet. Pushing here. We're gonna hold this for a little bit extra longer. So we'll hold for 5, 4, make sure this is active, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. So instead of coming to our bellies, we're actually going to push ourselves up, placing our knees hip distance apart on the mat. We're going to grab both of our heels with our hands, place the top of our head into the mat, pull the back of our heels and round our spine. So this is called rabbit pose. You want your belly button to spine, rounding your back, stretching, feeling this nice stretch that opposes the one that we just did. So you can feel this in your neck, your spine, basically your whole body. We're going to inhale, release, come back up. Now we're seated onto our knees. I'm just going to come more to the center for you guys. We're seated on our knees. We're going to take a couple twists here. So inhale your right palm to your left knee. Inhale your left hand behind your back and give a nice little stretch looking over your shoulder. These ones always make me need to burp. Excuse me. So in each inhale, we are lengthening our spine, and each exhale, we're turning a little bit deeper. So if you follow me here, inhale. Inhale back to center, and we'll do the opposite side. So left palm to left knee, right arm behind us. Inhale. Inhale back to center. Now we're just going to come back to the mat. So we're going to place our right hip bone, so we're kind of on our sides, placing our hand behind our neck or our head, just like a casual laying position. But we're going to do a half bow pose, so basically what we just did on our bellies, we're going to do on our side. So we're going to inhale, grab our left foot with our left hand, and just kind of stretch it out, kicking. You can still kick, but you don't need as much pressure. This is just opening the shoulder, playing with the hips here. And we'll do the same on the opposite side. So we'll slowly turn around on our hip, place our left hand behind our head or our neck. So we're going to inhale our right foot to our right palm and give a subtle kick here. Gazing forward, nice little back bend, our shoulder opener on the right side. Holding here. And slowly release, we'll come to our backs. We're going to kiss our feet together, and instead of just laying on our backs like this, we're going to place our elbows into our sides, and we're going to slowly inhale, sending the top of our head to the mat, and placing our palms on our inner thighs. So getting another nice lower back stretch, our hip opener stretch. If you want to keep your hands to the side, you can, or keep them in your lap. And we'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very gently release your head to the mat. Close your knees together, and we'll inhale, hug our knees to our chest. I know this is basically in every sequence I make, but it's just such a beneficial stretch. You feel it everywhere. And it's appreciating your body, hugging it, thanking it. It's kind of a psychological act as well. So we worked a lot on our lower back today, so if you want to do circles, then you can follow me here. Last time I said I was going clockwise when I was going counterclockwise, so I think I like to just begin opposite for some reason. But we're just going to rotate and switch sides. One final hug back into the chest. And slowly extend our legs out straight. If you need to make any final adjustments, do so now. Do any little hip movements that might help. And then we'll completely release. Thank you guys for
joining me in this video, in this practice. I know how important it is to work on our backs. They're our main support system, they're holding us together, and they are a very common injury area. So no matter what we do, we should continue to work on them, cherish them, and strengthen them. Because a lot of people think, oh, well, your back's gonna hurt, you're getting old, it's always gonna happen, but we have the capability in ourselves to practice and stretch and exercise and strengthen and make it not necessarily guaranteed to never get sore or injured, but to prevent it at either a slower speed, it won't come to you until way later on, or maybe even combat whatever was going to make it hurt in the first place. So the more practice we do, the more our backs are familiar with, and the less likely you are to strain or hurt it in any way. So take this time to let your breath return to normal. Make sure all of your facial muscles are relaxed, your body isn't tense. So loosen your shoulders, your fingers, unfurrow your brow. Keep your tongue to the roof of your mouth to allow your jaw to relax. And breathe.